it's Chris here, first day of NAMM. Looking around trying to find someone I know. Excuse me, mate, do you know? It's Ian Bush, CEO of Artist Guitars.
Hey Chris, how you going?
Good. Trying to find someone else here that I know. Mate, do you know anyone who's well known around here?
Well, not really. There's I've run into a few people, but they seem to know me and I don't know them. Like you, for instance.
Yeah, one of my favourites.
Oh man, thank you so much, Chris.
Pleasure to meet you.
I'll see you in Sydney.
You will?
Yeah.
Are you coming down?
I'm actually going to play the Jazz and Blues Festival in
April,
New Zealand in late May.
Oh.
But
and you're going to hop over to Sydney?
Might have to hop over. If my wife comes, we'll do it.
Season or back to school, you can change out the name to reflect those things. Your profile photo should be representative of your brand. If it is your logo, I'm all good with that. Just make sure it's as legible as possible.
What Tom is playing right now, it's the new Fluence acoustic pickups.
Tell me.
So the Fluence acoustic pickups are the Fluence technology that we brought out with electric guitar pickups a few years ago. It's a completely new technology for pickups. So instead of having windings on a bobbin, we have optically engraved windings on a circuit board. It's multiple layers. And what it allows us to do is to create the voices that we want through filtering. So it's a magnetic pickup. I know, optically engraved.
How long's Bag's been making guitars?
Only about 6 months.
Well, what makes them special other than the pickup?
Well, the pickup is definitely a part of it.
On my Martin G35, I put in auditorium, what's it called? Anthem, thinking you begin with an A.
Yep.
Great pickup.
Yeah.
And when it's a bit feedbacky, you go off the mic, but the way they've balanced it, so you don't get that horrible clacky. It's just such a clever design.
Yeah.
I love it. Makes me want to play acoustic at a live gig, which I don't do.
Right. That's the goal.
Yeah. Wow.
So
this is
very unique
amazing.
design.
Yeah.
One of the things that is special about this guitar is the neck support system.
Yeah.
So typically the top and the back are responsible for a lot of structural support for the neck.
Sure.
So what this does...
I didn't know the top was.
It's not typically. The back is very much so. But this takes all of the main support for the neck and puts it into the frame.
Yeah, wow, so yes, it's a single piece of wood.
It's a single piece all the way around, and the top and the back are inset into the top.
Wow, so that looks really pretty as well.
It does, yeah.
Here we got Brian from
SIT Strings, and I'm one of the sales guys here, and I want to show you some of the strings that we make. And
tell us what's special about it.
We got a whole bunch of strings. We make them all in Akron, Ohio, and it's our 45th anniversary this year. We've been making them since 1980.
Tell me what makes them special.
So we've got a lot of strings in nickel plated. It's the widest selection of gauges we have available in 7 and 8 strings as well.
Wow.
We make them all the way up to an 84 in our new 8-string set.
Right.
Package. My favorite are going to be the pure nickel electric strings. They're a little bit more mellow in tone.
Yeah, so I've heard. I've never used them.
Yeah, if you put them like on a Strat and a Tele, especially through a tube amp, crank it up. For me, it's very pleasing.
Right.
If you're going to play more metal or more aggressive rock, I'd stick with bnickel plated because it's got a little more attack to it.
Right. That's a good solution because bridge pickup on a Strat or a Tele can be a bit
very
brittle.
bright.
Yeah.
Yep, it's very pleasing. I like those a lot.
All right, can you tell me a little bit about my favorite nut replacements? I mean, I use them on pretty much any guitar that I retrofit.
So, Graphtech, as you may know, we're longest history is for sure with nuts and saddles. We do the man-made ivory products. We've got them in all types of sizes. Some new stuff for this year. We've got the Unlock nut, which for the first time is a nut on instruments that have a Floyd Rose bridge. We've got some multi-scale instruments now. Those are becoming more and more popular.
Yeah, wow, look at all those string slots.
Yeah, exactly. So you have ones for the fan fret instruments with the multi-scales,
Yeah.
because there's more and more of those every year.
So the last job I did with my R8 Les Paul, I've got the G string.
Oh yeah.
What do you got?
Well, I mean, definitely the Tusq XL stuff. I mean, it's impregnated with PTFE, which is one of the slippery substances known to man. So going with one that has the right size nut slot that's got an impregnated lubricant is going to give you.
So am I, as the tech, am I going to get that slot dimension right, or do I buy it for a specific string gauge?
Yeah, that's a good question. We do make models specifically for the Gibson, the electrics, like the 6010 or the 6011. If you have a older Gibson or a more new school one, a lot of times people go with like the 4011, which is a Gibson style pre-shaped blank.
Yeah.
So it's got the right radius, it's got the right shape and everything, just no string slots. Because some people want to cut the slots so they follow the path of the peg heads better.
Yeah, or I sort
Instead of a one-size-fits-all solution. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I sort of elongate the exit side.
Yep.
As an amp tech, one of the main things you've got to do regularly is test tubes to make sure that they're matched, working. And so for power tubes, I've got a Maxi Matcher 2 now, which I love. Preamp tubes, I'm using my 1960, I think it is, B&K 700, 770. It's very good, but being tube-based itself, I've got to calibrate it every year. And, it takes a bit of time to get it set up, plug it into 110.
But the real thing that they spent ages on doing was these expansion modules.
Right.
So the expansion modules there's 5 at the moment, and they allow you to test tubes that are not here.
Right, so like the EF86 now plugs into here, and because it's a pentode, it'll
so what you do is you will plug that into here,
right,
like that, and go through the same process of doing the test. Yeah.
EF86s, I love the sound of them, but they can get really microphonic.
Yeah.
Can this pick up noise and microphonics?
Yes.
It can.
So you actually can do the microphony test on this product. So you literally put it in and you push a certain sequence of how you push this.
Yeah.
You put it in, it even comes with a pencil.
Really?
And you tap it, and your reading will tell you.
Microphone.
Yeah, correct.
Like a bar graph on
Yeah, so literally,
system.
exactly right. So what happens is it goes up, obviously the worse it goes up, the worse it is, yeah?
At least Mark 1 was fairly slow.
Yeah, no, it's quicker, this is a lot quicker.
Right.
Yeah, but take 2 minutes, nearly all done. Yeah.
Right.
And obviously if it fails on one thing, it stops there.
So that's right, it's no point in going. Hi, I've just met someone else at NAMM. I reckon anyone who's turned on a YouTube will know this guy.
No, you don't. Crikey.
Well, you've done a whole bunch of Joyo stuff.
I've done a lot of Joyo stuff in my early days, yeah. Quite a bit.
I also do all of the repairs for artist guitars, and they're the Australian distributor of Joyo and Nuux, and I've designed a couple of their amps, which I'm not sure if you've come across them. Do you get any of their of the artist guitar amps?
Nope.
You got to do it.
Well, tell them.
I will. Thank you, Henning.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I love your channel, by the way.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. And you'll be on my channel.
Awesome.
Very soon. Traditionally used in America, where voltages are rising, from the original 110 to 120, 125, a thing called a brown box was developed.
My name's Cassandra. I'm the owner and CEO of AmpRx. We make the brown box.
I didn't know that. We're talking to the CEO. So Cassandra, can you tell us, well, being in Australia, I mean, we've all heard of the brown box and what it does for American companies. Like, I do a lot of vintage amps, and when I plug it into my step-down transformer, which goes to 120, everything is higher. All the voltages are higher. I don't mind some of the plate voltages being higher, but then I also see the filament voltages going from 6.3 where it's supposed to be to 7.3.
Exactly.
And that's way higher than spec values. But now there's a brown box for Australian voltages. And Cassandra's going to tell us about it.
So this is the Brown Box 200 series that was designed specifically for countries that have 220 go more and more solar, solar panels, obviously solar voltage has to be higher than 240 so the current will flow to the grid.
Right.
So our voltages are going from, we're officially a 200 volt country grid, but we've been 240 in practice for decades, it's a long time. But now it's creeping up, 242, 245, so we're seeing a lot of increased voltages.
So if you take the camera for a second.
Yep.
We have a transformer that's simulating 250 volts. We transform the voltage here in the US to 250 for demonstration purposes. And with the Brown Box 200 series, we're able to get from 247 the whole way down to 200 if you want. So you have flexibility between that to get to the sweet spot where your particular amp lies. So if you really like to see 220, 225 for your gear, or, it really matters.
It's amazing who you can meet at NAMM. Here's another Aussie.
Some of this beautiful acoustic sound.
That's the acoustic pickup. That's our electric pickup here. That's both together. And there's one last trick with it, I guess.
Tell me.
Oh, sure. It's not that. That wasn't it.
That was the trick?
That wasn't it.
Oh.
Speaker to a subwoofer, and the condenser mic just hears extreme highs. And it's digitally shelved, so anything that would feed back on the mic, it sends to the phase sensor. Anything that would feed back on the phase sensor sends to piezo. That's just the acoustic side.
Yeah.
The electric side then has our 5 selectors.
Stock, yeah.
And that's, you can. So these are our own pickups. What we had to do is we had to invent. The biggest problem with hybrid guitars, which is a growing market, is that magnetic pickups will not hear phosphor bronze strings. Right? But if you put electric strings on an acoustic, on a hybrid, you lose the acoustic tone when you're plugging in.
I have one complaint about Suhr amps, and I've found someone here who may know a little bit about it.
This guy might know. Excuse me, John. Do you know anything about Suhr amps?
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm an amp repairer in Sydney, and my complaint is that I've earned no money on your amps.
Yeah, what?
I've earned no money on your amps.
Okay.
I've never repaired one. Why don't they break down?
Because I used to do what you do.
Aha.
And I understand how much of a pain it is. And so, but when they do break down, eventually it will break down.
Right.
They're easy to repair.
Right.
And so I try and stick with things that are friendly for musicians to play out and be reliable. I think an amplifier should last a lifetime.
The old Leo principle.
It's not disposable.
Not disposable. Unlike a lot of the modern mass-produced amps.
Yes.
Oh, well, I just have to wait until one of them wears out a set of tubes or something.
Tubes are easy. And I even put bias, I put cathode resistors in there too, so you can directly measure your bias.
Oh, right, like
so
1 ohm.
Yeah, 1 ohm, 3 watt, 1%, so you don't have to worry. You can just go measure your current. You don't need those bias probes or anything.
Fantastic.
Just a meter.
Thank you, John. Pleasure to meet you. And still waiting for one of your amps to fail. Just trying to find someone here that I know.
Excuse me?
I'm trying to find someone that I know. Ignacio, how are you?
This is the newest speaker from Jensen. It's called the Blackbird 15100 because it's 100 watt, small neodymium speaker. I think it's neodymium. We'll get Ignacio to tell us soon. But here's a couple of things that I really like. I love 15-inch speakers, but the cone can get a bit flappy. But look at what Jensen have done. Look at that ribbing detail. That's It's going to hit that cone really well focused. I like it. Relatively small dust cover, which I like too.
We did a couple of things to make it tighter in the bottom end and smoother on the top end by using a large size dust cap.
Pretty heavy doping?
Yes, because we wanted to shift a little bit the energy from the, let's say, the 80 to 85, 90 hertz up to the 100, 120.
Right.
In order to make it tighter and not losing punch.
Yeah.
And we call it special edition because it has been voiced for the hard, heavy metal players.
Okay.
So, you know, overdrive and gain is all about harmonics.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And harmonics tend to build up over 6K. So if your speaker delivers too much energy above 6K, it becomes glassy, it becomes raspy and buzzy and stuff.
Yeah.
So you need a smooth roll-off. And this helps. And also, if you look at the curve, you see the roll-off, and then sometimes you see some resonances, some bounces.
Yeah.
Those maybe are 25 or 30 dBs below average.
Right.
But when you push distortion, those build up and tend to raise. So I want to get rid of those spikes in order to have a smoother top end.
Wow.
So you can push a lot of gain without becoming fizzy.
Yeah.
So that's the Tornado SE.
I've been working on a new amp for artist guitars. And they're all going to come out with a Jensen. I think it's going to be a C12K.
The K2 is more open.
How do you make it more open? How do you make a speaker more open? Is it the cone or the coil?
Well, the cone is one thing, and the dust cap diameter is another thing.
Smaller diameter?
Smaller diameter means
more top.
The roll-off point of the trebles moves up. It doesn't change the slope, but it changes the roll-off point.
Okay, so a small dust cap is better.
It's not better. It will allow more top end going through.
Okay.
It's really like an HPF.
Yeah, okay.
You set the HPF at 4K and it goes like this. You set at 6K, it goes like this.
Yeah.
So is the K2 like a 6K?
It's more open. I don't remember the exact difference between the curves. And also on the bass, the K has a seamed cone.
Has a what?
Seamed cone.
Oh.
Meaning that the cone is a flat piece of paper, it's bent, curved, and glued.
Right.
While the K2 is a pressed cone. So it's a flat piece of paper pressed into a mold and given shape, one piece. The seamed cone, because of the added weight of the two pieces of paper overlaying and the rigidity of the glue, has stronger and deeper bass.
Right.
So the whole balance of the K is shifted towards the bass and rolled off on the treble. The K2 is more even.
Ignacio and Ian have been having secret talks, so don't share this video with anyone. But I think this new amp from Artist Guitars is going to be pretty exciting. It's going to be a little bit deluxe reverb, but less flatulent than a deluxe reverb. And the other channel is going to be a little bit more martial. I think it's going to be a pretty cool amp. Okay, over to you guys. Well, if you ever get me to wire up your pedal board or make cables for you, guitar cables, pedal board, this is what I use. Mogami Cables. I just like a great quality cable with really good sound. And for your pedal boards, odd number is 2314. And for your guitar leads, it is 25 and 24.
Canada. So I reckon it's great. I just bought it. Tell them why it's great.
Okay, Chris. So this slide ring, the cool thing about it is that you can put it on your middle segment of your middle finger, and what it allows you to do is play guitar with 4 fingers, the way you always play. But anytime you want, you have a slide ring ready to go. So I'm gonna just play a little guitar for you for a second, just kind of show this to you in person.
I've always played, I slide on my ring finger, and people always confuse me with Derek Trucks.
Okay, so basically, so I'm just gonna play some slide guitar, and then I'm gonna switch into playing with 4 fingers, and it's really that simple. It's it's nice to have all 4 fingers the way you normally play, but play slide. So. Fingers.
That's what I love. You can chord normally.
So yeah, the cool thing about it's made out of tungsten steel. They make wedding rings out of it. It's really got like a nice weight to it.
It's got good weight.
And it's the reason for that is so that it has a lot of sustain and tone. So that's kind of our logic for that.
I'm now at the J Rockett stand because I've got a really nice J Rockett white one, Archer clean. I love it a lot. And I asked this guy, he seems to know a bit about it.
Good day, nice to meet you.
I love your pedals, Jay.
Thank you, my man. We appreciate that.
What an honor it is to meet you here.
Well,
a loud honor.
It is loud, I apologize. They're having fun on the pedals.
Although I would like to think you can get pretty much the same tone qualities out of our... Most of the mojo in these amps is in the power stage. I mean, the front end is all nice EQ and all that, but...
Class D?
But the class, we have a Class D amp, but it's got special feedback circuits that give it the warm output feed.
Right, because they can sound a little bit hard sometimes.
Yeah, well that's a chronic problem with standard solid state.
Yeah, exactly.
Linear or Class D.
And we're using switch mode supplies?
Yes, and so that gives us immunity to club power and an ability to operate anywhere in the world without component repairable, but you have to be prepared to work on surface mount technology.
Right.
It's not teeny tiny surface mount.
Right.
Listen, I can do it.
You can do it?
With my old eyes.
Yeah. Well, you're probably not much older than me, I wouldn't think.
But, I mean, the parts are...